Once upon a time, there were three men. They were as dumb as a dodo but were super good at running. Their names were Aloysius, Joel, and Sean. Aloysius has been living in his straw house since he was young. However, on that fateful day, there was a bushfire and his house had burned down while he was inside. He immediately ran out of his house and to his neighbor's home. That neighbor was Joel, and he brought Aloysius into his wooden abode. Just as Joel was about to ask Aloysius what had happened, his house had caught fire too. Spotting the tiny flames start to engulf the house, they ran as fast as they could to the next neighbor's home in a tiny little town. They arrived at Sean's brick house, panting and sweating like crazy. They told Sean what had happened in between breaths, and Sean was terrified of the fire and thought it would burn down his house. He immediately grabbed everything he could and ran out of his house and ran up the hill to the fields. On the hills, they discussed stories about their homes and looked back to the little town and saw that the fire that had caused them so much demise had been extinguished. So, they decided to go back down to search for survivors. Sean went back into his house, only to realize his house had been untouched by the flames. Only then did he realize how stupid he was to think that his brick house was flammable and his house was going to burn down. They celebrated the fact that at least one building still was in working condition and were able to be used. When rebuilding, they decided to build their houses out of bricks so that in the future their houses would not catch fire anymore and they would be able to live in peace.